Hi, this is Kate from Daisy Nails, creating fun, funky and fabulous nails. I'm bringing you a video today showing a reverse French using polygel. Also in this video I'm going to try and show you what I was talking about in the last extension video when I was saying I'd learned a trick to get a tighter C-curve. Or as always, we start with putting on the form. If you use tips, use tips. But it's the form that gives me that tighter C-curve. So it's to do with how tightly I actually press it underneath. I think I've gone beyond that bit now, haven't I, in the video? But I press it tightly going up the form as far up as possible, you know, based on how long I want it to be. And then underneath there, so that curve there on the form is as tight as possible. And that's what's going to create that tight C-curve. It means we don't need to use a pincer to squeeze it, because doing that can risk damage to the nail plate. So I started off with a dehydrator. I just use a Model 1's dehydrator, it doesn't matter what brand you use. But when it comes to polygel, always make sure you use the same brand of primer, base, polygel. Otherwise you're likely to get lifting or them just popping off as you're going about your day-to-day stuff. So I started with the Madam Glam non-acid primer, and the Madam Glam base, and now we're going on to the Madam Glam polygel. I can't remember what colour that is. I'll have to add that in later. So I put a blob sort of halfway. No, that's right. This is the tip blob, isn't it? So no, that's right. I'm doing the reverse French. So it isn't a tip blob at all. This is to make the main part of the nail. And basically what you're trying to do is make the shape of that nail plate before you reach your free edge. Bit of a IPA. Drain some of it out, but not too much. You don't want it too wet. You don't want the IPA mixing with the polygel. It'll make the consistency weaker, make it less likely to last. Now I'm pushing it down into the cuticles, down into the side walls. Make sure it's as close as possible there as possible. As possible? As possible, as possible. How many times can I say as possible? Falling over my words. Right, so I'm now patting it down to just get a nice shape. You don't want it to be too flat. You're going to file this down at the end. And it's one of those techniques that's you know, when you're doing it, you're thinking really, 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 but trust the process. Always trust the process. Just trying to shape it as much around the end as possible, around the edge. That's where our French tip is going to buff up to, so we want that as smooth as possible. Right, so that's been into the lamp. Wipe it down with a bit of the IPA, because we're now going to file. If you don't, it's going to have that inhibition layer, and any dust from the filing is going to stick to it. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get this into the video particularly well, but essentially what we're doing, I think you can just see a little bit there, is trying to make that edge where you're going to buff the white tip up to. You're trying to make that as crisp as possible, so you get a beautiful, beautiful, crisp smile line when you've finished. But as I said, managed to get it out of shot again. I really need to work on this, don't I? Excuse me, just a sip of my Coke. Once you've filed that, clean it off with some more IPA. You do not want to get dust in your polygel. Again, that can weaken it, end up causing it to not last as long as you want it to last. So, is this the Lily of the Valley, I think, isn't it? That's the Madam Glam white polygel. Take a little bit on my spatula and just sort of buff that up next to the pink. And now we're going to shape the sort of shape of tip I want. I think I went a bit squarer than I ended up with. And then you're going to make sure you mould that down the edges as well. You know, where you've made that C-curve shape with the form, ensure you follow that with your polygel just to get that really nice, neat C-curve shape. I'm looking at the nail right now, very impressed with it. Okay, so here what I'm doing is I'm making sure it goes all the way up that side wall so that you have a straight line from the pink right down to the white. There's no gaps there. You don't want any gaps. Make sure you fill in all that space. If you can hear all the background noises, there is currently a huge lorry driving past me. I'm in a car park again. This is our local country park, surrounded by beautiful trees, but there is a cafe just round the corner. So that lorry's just been delivering food to the cafe. Now I'm wondering about a bacon sandwich when I finish this. Right, pop that into the lamp. And once it's done, wipe it down. See, at the moment, you look at that and think, what a mess, right? But wait till we get the file out. Cleaning all of the inhibition layer off again, remove that form. Not sure what I'm doing here. Twiddling my thumbs? I don't know. Handstands? No, definitely not. Can't do a handstand. I'm just tidying up. Did I forget to delete a part of this video? I usually delete all the parts where it's in the lamp so that, you know, it's not too boring and I think I've missed a bit. So I do apologise about that. Is there anything exciting I can tell you instead? My youngest child turned 15 last week. There's something about your youngest child getting older and older each year that just makes you feel slightly as if you're reaching the decrepit stage in life. So yes, my youngest child is 15 now. Amazing kid, absolute amazing kid, but still 15. I had to convince her last night not to go out of the house to go and collect a traffic cone that was in a hedge nearby. We've all been kids before though, haven't we? We've all been there. Right, so what am I up to now? I think I'm filing with the hand file, just doing the shape of the tip. Right, so this is where we get onto the good stuff. We get the E-file out, just with an arbor band on, just quite a fine arbor band. I can't remember what it was, 180 or 240 or something, because we just want to gently take that down until we reveal that beautiful crisp smile line. Can you see it appearing? Oh, it's one of my favourite bits of this whole process. Just seeing it appear. Again, as I've asked in previous videos, if anyone's got good recommendations of video editing apps that don't cost a lot of money, that would be fabulous, because I still can't actually see what I'm doing in this video, because when I record the voiceover, the like the graphic equalizer, that, you know, it shows the volume of my voice, but it covers a good, I'm going to say 3/5 of the screen, which makes it a little hard to make out what I'm doing. I can see at the moment I'm filing that tip again, just trying to make it as even as possible on both sides. And then doing the muffin tops. Always do the muffin tops. If you haven't seen my previous videos, the muffin tops is at the side when you do your extensions. You sometimes, it looks a bit bulky, and basically there's just too much at the side. You just have to curve that down towards your, excuse me, towards the side walls and the side free edge. So if you looked at it sort of towards the point of your finger, it would look like the top of a muffin. And you don't want that, so make sure that it's coming down in a nice smooth line. Right, okay, so I've got, I think I got a flame bit, possibly. Put it into the E-file just to do underneath the nail. You want to smooth that out, especially because I was using white polygel, and that's completely opaque. So the light can't get underneath it. So when I took the format off, I had just like a little bit of a blob where it pulled off because it wasn't cured underneath. So I then turned my hand upside down, cured it again underneath, but then it was quite bumpy. So I got this flame bit just to file down and smooth underneath the tip. Then using the hand file again, just some finishing touches. I'm never really happy with my filing. I could go on with filing. Anyone else find this? I could go on with filing, like for the whole day, until I'm absolutely happy. And then I'll hold it up to the window, and I've got 2 windows in my living room where I was doing this. And the way the sun shines in one of them, I get a really good silhouette of when I hold my finger up to it, so I can really see the shape of it without looking at the detail. And that way you can really make out any unevenness in the shape of the nail. You'll believe this, I've actually sped this up and yet it's still taking forever. Put the file down, Kate! Smooth it all off. Now, I usually, when I do art on nails, I usually do hand-painted art. I always prefer to do that. But in this instance, I didn't have very much time, and I wanted to do a ladybird. So I got some stickers. I do have some stickers, some decals and stamps and things. But I got some stickers out of my little box with all my accessories in. And I found this ladybird one that I'm putting on at the moment. And I put a couple of little flowers with it as well. I do think it's a bit of a shame because they hide the beautiful crispness of the crispness, not Christmas, crispness of the line. It's a bit of a dichotomy, really. To actually get the stickers off the sticker sheet, I find really hard to do with nail extensions, but I only want to get them off to put onto my nails once my nails are done, and I always have, relatively short, but always have extensions on my nails. They don't grow evenly at all, so I always keep them, the natural nails, short and put a little extension on. One more. I think I was looking for a small flower. Just to put sort of between where the larger one and the ladybird are. Or I've already done that. I don't know. Still can't see with this editing app. Right, so we're going to get the top coat. Madam Glam, no wipe top. Oh, I love this. It's such an amazing top coat. Always float your top coat on, and that way it encapsulates any bumps or lumps you may have from any art, from any decals, from any glitter, anything like that. And then you get a nice straight light line. Who doesn't like a straight light line, hey? Cap the free edge. It just prevents it from chipping. Pop it in the lamp. There we go. There it is finished. One reverse French. And it is my absolute favourite way to do a French. But can only be done if you're doing an extension. The most recent French tips I've done for clients, neither were extensions, so they were just hand painted, which, you know, I can do perfectly well as well, but I do enjoy doing this. It's the reveal, the trust the process reveal that happens at the end. Always put that little bit of oil on. If you do your own nails, make sure you put some cuticle oil on every night. I have some next to my bed, so that every night before I go to sleep, I put a bit of cuticle oil on. Just keeps those nails growing nice and healthy. It stops them from drying out too much and splitting. Right then, I'm going to go now, but thank you for watching. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, and I will see you another time, okay? I'm trying to upload twice a week at the moment. Take care. Bye.